Maximus Analysis here for October 27th, 2016, and we're looking at a 240-minute chart of the ES right now. And you can see that they're basically, they broke below these lows, which we've been showing that again, these lows have not held. They broke below them. Now they gave another 5-wave pattern that we spoke about. Again, I did put that up on Twitter. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lower high. Now we want to see where this goes. Again, they also had something similar in regards to crude, but the pattern wasn't this bad because, again, using the time factor that we use at times just to kind of see where we are, this move down took 11 bars. This move, geez, this one took 100 and you can see how much chop we've been. You can see that we're also about, how many bars in now? We're 209 bars in. Okay, divide that by 6 and that'll give you how many days we are in this type of chop. And they weren't able, again, using that time, again, flush down 11 bars, which is 2 days. And this happened, you know, the beginning of September. It's the end of October. So again, we won't, you know, beat a dead horse here. So let's just look at where we are in regards to the Fibonacci retracements. They came up, tapped this 78.6 level a couple of times, rolled over and couldn't get up to this 61.8 fib, and now they're going to test again what I'm looking for overnight. And I will continue to do this because again, I have no problem saying either when I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong right now. So again, they break below the 2116.5 level overnight, and they're going to go touch that 2100.25 level. Okay, we can see that already. We have the NQ. We're going to look at the same time frame. Again, they had a couple misses today, but you could see again we had these angles put up here on the 240 minute, and they're breaking below. Now you did have an Amazon miss. Again, if you're watching the newsletters, if you're reading the newsletter, you know how much I hate the FANG complex. And it's not because of the stocks per se. It has nothing to do with the stocks. I don't hate or love any stocks. It's about what's going to make me money and what's looking good. But what I hated is that basically people would ignore sound judgment in regards to getting into a position, accompany that with this overall view that the central bank will always hit the bid. And that leads to a recipe of disaster, a recipe of laziness and complacency. Again, saying, oh, FMC is coming, so that's going to be the pop. You can't use that as a way, because again, unless you have some secret bat phone to Yellen, that's not a good way to think about trading. Treat it like a business versus they will always be there to bail me out. Now we see that we're hitting some significant levels. I will take this one off, these trend lines off, and we can look at the higher time frame of a weekly time frame and kind of see where we are. Okay, looking back at the weekly, we've been trading sideways, and now they're giving a shooting star pattern. Again, they break below this breakout. There is a ton of stops there. That again, this was an anomaly that I was like, I'm not buying that. It is what it is. You can look at my newsletter. You can look back to July 27th newsletter, and I said, do not buy here. And it sucks that it was right for so long. And again, if I'm wrong, I'm fine. I'm fine with being wrong. But again, I'm just looking at the overall big picture here to say, okay, this is what we got going on. You had crude as well, still rolling lower to our level that we've had here. Again, I haven't changed them. I have stuff. These videos every day. If there's any video that you feel I'm contradicting myself, feel free to let me know, and I'll probably most likely will apologize because I'm not a jerk. I'm not a person that is looking at this to be some ego feeding type of week daily thing. This is too much work with too many little views for me to be doing this for nothing but trying to help some people out. Again, I'm 650 videos in doing this daily for people, and again, I want you guys to understand that you got to look at the big picture. And again, I am going to be starting a service probably in the next week that is not going to be expensive at all. I think it's going to run we're going to do $49.99. It's going to include the daily night videos, trade picks, also a lot to do with trade education. Again, giving you a bunch of things to say. Oh, guess what? You're new to the market. Look at these things first. Look at the big picture first. Okay, because they're setting people up because they use this FANG complex to basically bait you in to not look at the other things. Again, one of the other things is RYR. Is it RYR? Shoot, WRY. What the hell is it? Yes. Look at this. This is the real estate, the REIT ETF. It's getting crushed. Okay, but they will never show you that. Again, looking at the daily, again, you'll see a lot of that stuff as well. If you look at the British pound, you could say, okay, I have my levels here. Again, looking at this, you could see that the levels work beautifully to fade for you guys overnight. Again, you're trading from the 6. You could have taken a fade, and how many points is it? How many pips is that? From 120, 2256 to around, let's say you didn't get all of it, but that's a pretty good amount of pips for the night. Okay, we'll look at also, these are things I give out. I'm not going to be giving out that much that you'll get on the newsletter. Again, we have a critical level here with the Japanese yen. I'll show you on the weekly time frame why this is so important. Okay, look at the lows back here going all the way to 2013, the end of 2013. Okay, they got to it, but we need to hold that level. Again, I've been telling you, be very cautious. Okay, we had the British pound. Let's look at the euro. Looking at the intraday time frame, and again, seeing where we are in regards to space. You can look and say, okay, we are approaching, the Brexit was here, we're below it. So we got to be cautious. You can't just be looking at the FANG. It will get you caught up into stuff that you don't need to be looking at. Now let's really go and look at what is going on with Amazon. Again, I really don't try my best. There's a resistance level that we had. Okay, I said, and this was actually put on October 7th. So I actually got to this. I didn't even realize I still had it up. Okay, but this is something that we are going to be looking at to say it's a resistance point, and we'll see where it is right now, and then see where it's going to open on that weekly chart. Okay, so they're fighting right now. I don't know if they're going to regain, but it's a pretty significant move down right now. But let's kind of look at where the price actions is right now versus, and this is now. So again, where it opens is completely different. Right there. Okay, so let's go back to the higher time frame and look and see where that's going to be. So that is far. Again, that is breaking all of these lows right here. We're breaking 1, 2, going, no, actually 1, 2, 3. This whole run up is getting wiped out by this earnings. So this is going to be a big red candle. Do you want to short then? No. You don't want to short then. You want to wait for your setup versus trying to chase. Again, if you short then, your stop has to be above the lows. And if we're looking at where it is right now, that's about $70. So I don't know how much time you're going to give yourself, but in either case, I would look at that and see when the pop up, and then potentially go to short after that. Let's look at what is happening with Google. Google, we have the 821 area that I will see. Let's look and see where they are now. Again, they reported as well, and they're all over the place. So let's do that same type of scenario and say, okay, we're at this mark. Again, it's can continue, but I don't know. Again, I'm no fortune reader here, but you could see that they maybe a doji type of move, but you don't want them to get back below this 800. They break, and again, there's a ton of stops at that breakout level. 800. Again, I was surprised they got up this high, but again, you have some stuff. Again, you're looking at this FANG stuff. Please stop looking at it exclusively, okay? Because a lot of things again are moving. So you have IWM. Again, it's still looking. Look at that. Again, this is the weekly chart. When was this put? October 15th. Okay, newsletter. You got it. So again, it's saying it needs to hold this level up, and it is breaking it right now. So again, a test of this 114 level could happen very, very quickly. It's not unreasonable. You also have TLT getting beat up as well. Again, I want to see if they're going to hold this or not, because again, it is oversold. But again, I want to make sure that we get a buyer's bar versus just being first out the foxhole. So again, you can fade this 50% of this retracement, but let's see how they recover, if they recover. Because again, if they recover and give a buy signal, again, everybody else is looking, but they've not even broken below the 50%. We will keep that stuff at base. So let's look and see what happens. Again, they're coming to this resistance and they're holding it so far. But again, you have to be patient, or they can easily go to this 128.25 level. Again, I'm going a little bit longer here because I just want to reiterate. Again, I give these levels for people that day trade. I give them on bonds, crude, gold, ES. I'll start giving them on NQ. Might even start giving them on TF. Again, but they will be a part of the service. Okay, I've been showing these levels for months. Okay. Also going into trade education to say, okay, going into what makes things overbought, oversold, looking at the big picture, having somebody that, again, is help you throughout the way. Again, you can look at it as, listen, again, there's a bunch of snake oil out there because people have unrealistic goals. Again, if you have unrealistic goals, you don't want to take any risk, you want to make all reward, my service is not going to be for you. There's a ton of stuff out there that will feed that itch that you need. Again, I want to have it that, again, you look, see the big picture, understand the big picture from the beginning, and then develop your trade plan and go from there. Again, I would love to help you along the way, but it is about truly understanding what is going on with the market and not being impatient, because, again, it is so easy to want to chase, you fear of missing out. Again, if you don't have it, please let me know. I'll send you my July 22nd newsletter. I think you'll enjoy it. And again, I'll send you all the newsletters if you want, because I was telling people, again, I could have been wrong, but I was fine being wrong. And that's a big part of trading. Are you fine with being wrong and waiting for your setup to come versus taking every single trade? So again, let's see what happens tomorrow. Again, we'll look and we'll see again where they close. This is the ESC contract. I'm going to do the continuous because that's just a little bit easier, and I got it marked up. But again, we want to see if that 116 is going to close. Only thing concerning me, quite honestly, is weekly option, because weekly option money, they could freeze it tomorrow just to capture some of that, because I bet you there's a ton of puts. I hate the weekly option market. I have stated it before that it's not for you. It's for the banks to make money every week. And you'd be surprised how much volume. There's probably more volume in the weekly options than there is actually in the monthly options. But either way, sorry for the long video, but I really wanted to get this stuff out to you guys and explain to you what's going on. Take care.